So right now, just to give you a sense, so CNN, Pentagon, as many as 8,500 U.S. troops on heightened alert. Okay, true. Same on MSNBC. CNBC is doing their own thing about the market. And then on Fox is Janine Pirro talking about soft on crime consequences. I mean, what does that even mean, right? So there's an alternate universe on some coverage. What's scary about it is a lot of people watch that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. That was White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki reacting to media coverage of the Biden administration's handling of crime.
Let's bring back in our panelists now for their reactions. And before we get to panelists, there's been a follow-up because a lot of people took offense with that comment. So here's the press secretary clarifying her remarks yesterday at the briefing. Take a listen.
Cool, we don't have it.
All right, we don't have it. But essentially she was saying, we've had many conversations in the back and forth with you and your colleagues about prioritizing the president to ensure they're working with local leaders and mayors about how to address crime in the country. And we know, George, that the president will be meeting with Mayor Eric Adams come this Thursday in New York City. What are your expectations for the meeting? What needs to be done to get this crime surge under control?
You're absolutely right. There is a crime surge in major American cities and all around the United States, unfortunately. And what I think is really going on here is that the defund the police movement and the vilification of law enforcement as a whole across America has gone hand in hand because the buck stops with the President of the United States of America, not just in foreign policy, but in domestic policy. And when the President of the United States does not condemn violent rioting from Black Lives Matter or Antifa, which caused lives and billions of dollars in damage, and draws a moral equivalency between the terrorists of 9/11 and the rioters of January 6th, it really just emboldens criminals to once again take their frustration or their hate out on the system, which happens to be law enforcement, which wants to protect everyday American lives. And that's unfortunately what we have been seeing over the last year of the Biden administration. We have seen this spike in violence against law enforcement. Unfortunately, these two officers in New York did lose their lives, and we have seen other fatalities. And I just think that President Biden, once he gets to New York, he needs to stand strong and show resolute support to law enforcement because they're the ones who put their lives out on the line for Americans every single day.
Optimism, yes. More than likely, this will be about guns and money. The mayor has a very firm stance on trying to get illegal guns out of the city, and there's talk of millions going to potentially assist with that. He would need from the federal government, but we'll see what happens with that. Paul Chabot, this again back to what Psaki was addressing, which is to be correct with soft on crime. She laughs. What does that even mean? Soft on crime is what that should say. Paul Chabot, what does soft on crime mean?
You know, I've lived it. I 21 years retired law enforcement where I worked in California, now been in Texas. I'll tell you, it's disgraceful. What Democrats do to great states and once great cities is a cancer across this country. You can look at the crime trends and also, more importantly, follow the Soros money. Look at the DAs that he funds and the Democrat Party that he stands behind. You have two different parallel universes happening in our country. One where crime is out of control and people are hiding themselves so they don't become victims. And then you have red states looking at these blue states saying, how do we prevent our hometowns and states becoming like that? Because when you hear the President of the United States and his press secretary say such ignorant comments, it is so dangerous for public safety, and it puts a bullseye back on our police.
Yeah, and that's not just talking points here. We've seen it in New York City, where officers were shot and killed. In Houston, in Milwaukee, and St. Louis, Tiajah, these officers have come under attack.
Yes. Excuse me. You know, everybody wants to make this such a complicated situation, and it's really not this complicated. We have got to support our law enforcement. Excuse me. If you don't want to support our law enforcement, that is one thing, but you cannot create an environment of negative energy. You cannot be putting that out there and putting a target on their backs. I was listening to Mayor Adams speaking of what he wanted to do for his reform with gun control and gun reform, pardon. And he wants to put them back on the streets. And if that's what you want to do, that's awesome. We need to humanize the badge again. But if you're going to do that, you can't feed them to the wolves. You can't create a society and put a target on officers and then put them on the streets and expect them to just fare by themselves.
All right, Tiajah Nelson, George Papadopoulos, Paul Chabot, thank you very much. Stay with